You know, some games in the NFL are just games. They happen and we move on. But then there are performances that feel like something else, something more. Part magic, part pure willpower. And that's exactly what we're breaking down today. Caleb Williams' absolutely heroic comeback for the Chicago Bears.
And who better to set the stage than his own coach, Ben Johnson? Comparing your quarterback to Houdini, that's a pretty big statement. We're about to see exactly why that comparison is so fitting.
So picture this. It's a snowy Sunday at Soldier Field, classic football weather. The clock's winding down, and the Bears are trailing the New York Giants by 10 points. I mean, everything was pointing to a loss. The odds were completely stacked against them. Okay, so first up, let's really dig into that Houdini comparison. What does that even mean? How does a quarterback escape the unescapable? Because as you're about to see, it's about so much more than what you can find on a stat sheet. Now, if you just glanced at his final stats, you might kind of shrug, right? 20 completions, 220 yards. On paper, it looks, well, pretty average. Nothing to write home about.
But here's the question we've got to ask. Do those numbers even begin to scratch the surface of what actually happened on that field? And I think you know the answer. It's a hard no, not even close.
And this right here, this quote from Coach Johnson, really gets to the heart of it. Williams wasn't just dropping back and throwing. He was under fire from a nasty Giants pass rush all day, and he was forced to just create, to make something happen when there was absolutely nothing there.
Which brings us to our next point, how victory looked completely impossible. I mean, with just a few minutes left to play, the odds had totally turned on the Bears. A win didn't just feel unlikely, it was statistically almost a 0% chance.
Get a load of this, 6%. That was the Bears' actual win probability with less than 6 minutes to go. 6. That number tells you everything. It tells you just how deep of a hole they were in. Most teams in that spot, yeah, they're already thinking about the bus ride home.
And it wasn't just one problem. The Giants' pass rush was living in the backfield. Williams' receivers, guys who are normally super reliable, were having an off day. I mean, one player alone had at least 3 drops. It was like everything that could go wrong was going wrong.
But then, something just clicked. The comeback ignites, and it starts with this one critical scoring drive that, against all odds, put a little fear back into the Giants and gave that home crowd just a tiny spark of hope.
And this was the drive that changed everything. First, he hits his tight end for a big 20-yard gain. Clutch. Then, the play breaks down, he sees nothing, and he just takes off. An unbelievable 29-yard scramble to get them down to the goal line. He finishes it off with a quick TD pass, and just like that, it's a 3-point game. We've got a ball game! So that incredible drive set the stage for one final last-ditch effort. A last chance for glory. The defense managed to get a huge stop, and then, thanks to a little bit of luck, Williams and the offense got the ball back with one more shot to be the heroes. And here's where that luck comes in. The Giants punter just shanks one, giving the Bears amazing field position. All of a sudden, the door wasn't just cracked open, it was kicked wide open for an unbelievable ending. And he did not waste this chance. He hits Luther Burden III for a massive 27-yard gain, putting them right in scoring position, and then he does it himself, scrambling left, walking a tightrope down the sideline, and diving into the end zone for the game winner. Just an absolute masterclass in how to perform when the pressure is on.
So what happens after a win like this? What's the fallout? Well, this is where a unicorn forges confidence. See, this is about way more than just one notch in the win column. It's about what it does for the entire team's belief, especially when you're led by a player his teammates are literally calling a unicorn.
I mean, you gotta love this quote from Colston Loveland. Unicorn. It just speaks volumes about how rare a player like Williams is. It's the poise, right? The ability to stay calm when everything around you is pure chaos, plus that slippery Houdini-like magic. And this is the real problem he creates for defenses. What do? Do you try to cover his amazing receivers and just pray he doesn't take off and run for a huge gain? Or do you put a spy on him, leaving guys like DJ Moore and Rome Odunze in one-on-one matchups? He can beat you with his arm, or he can beat you with his legs. It's a nightmare. And as star receiver DJ Moore puts it, his legs just become another weapon. When defenses are so focused on taking away the deep ball, Williams has the green light to just take off and punish them on the ground.
And let's be crystal clear, this was not a fluke. The Giants are just the latest team to find out what a Caleb Williams comeback feels like. He's making a habit of this. With late-game heroics against the Raiders, the Bengals, the Commanders, this is just who he is.
But at the end of the day, this is what it's really all about. Hearing it from the man himself, he says these wins build this unshakable confidence. It doesn't matter what the score is, it doesn't matter how bad things look. There's a real belief in that locker room now that they can always find a way to win, and you just can't put a price on that.
Which leaves us with one final big picture thought. Having a franchise quarterback isn't just about talent. It's about having someone who can lift up an entire organization. So after a performance like this, you just have to ask, is this the moment we're all going to look back on as the start of something truly special in Chicago?